Is record. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so first, thank you guys for getting on. I haven't decided if I want to start doing team calls like before Summit or maybe start them up after Summit, since like we do it for 2 weeks and then take a week off and then start it again. So I don't know. I might just keep it and we'll just take Summit week off. And then the next week after Summit, we can have like a Summit like overhaul. Everybody can pour out all their like biggest ahas or whatever from Summit. So that will be cool to keep doing team calls. I feel like I haven't done a team call like a Zoom is more different than like doing an actual like phone call team call, because I can like see you guys staring at me. It's kind of like public speaking. That's what it feels like. Oh man, that makes me like nervous kind of. Who's this? Christy. Thanks for getting on, Christy. Oh, she doesn't have any sound. Anyways, okay, focus. Okay, so a couple of things I wanted to go over was I'm going to have a new coach training starting on the 6th. So if you guys have any new coaches that are joining that want to work the business, you can add them to that. I figure the more people in that, the merrier. I have 3 in there right now that are going to start. So if you guys have like random, like sometimes you have like one coach that signs up really late in the month and whatever. So we can add them all to that if you want to. If you want to do your own, like if you already have a new coach training you already do with your team, that's totally cool too. So I'm just throwing that out there for you guys that'll be doing that. And if you guys have questions on what I use, I'm actually using the new Coach Boss training or whatever on the Misfit site that Andrea created. That's the one I'm doing. I haven't really gone through and like personalized it yet at all. I'm going to try it this time with just like following it all the way through, and then maybe in August personalize it depending on how it goes and see how it goes just by like following her stuff. Because I think it's really just the pictures that are like mostly her. So that's for the new coach training. Success Club. You guys still have time tonight to hit Success Club if you're sitting at like 2 or 4. I know there's a lot of you who are at like 2 or you have like 4, and it's kind of like nobody knows that it's on sale again for July, so you can still like hit up all those people. I know I went through and actually messaged like all my customers, and this could be something you guys do for July right away at the beginning of the month. I went through and like emailed all my customers that I actually got from Beachbody, so like my customer leads, and I emailed them from not my personal but my business email. That's personal, not my Team Beachbody one, if that makes sense. And told them about the sale. And I had like 3 or 4 people that actually emailed me back, which is like shocking because whenever I send out like monthly emails, I hear like nothing. So I had like 3 or 4 people that messaged me back and wanted to do that sale. So that's something to think about, kind of reaching out to, people who already have their foot in the door a little bit with Beachbody. So that's something I would do right away. I'll probably do it again in the middle of the month just to let them know about the sales again for anybody who missed it. I'm going to get out of Facebook. But everybody should have a goal, and most of you probably do, so I'm probably like preaching to the choir, of Success Club 5. And for me, like I try and hit at least 5 by the middle of the month. That way, if I get more, I always shoot for 10, but I try and hit Success Club 5 like in the middle of the month. So I hit it and I don't have to like try and scramble at the end of the month for Success Club 5. I don't know if I'm sure most of you try and aim for that anyways. But something that I was thinking about with Success Club 2 is I was watching, I posted it in our Emerald group, I think, but I was watching that. It's Jimmy, I don't even know what his last name is, but he was talking about how to get to Diamond, and it kind of relates to like the same with Success Club. And he said Diamond is 12 people, like you're helping 12 people. You're helping 8 people get started, and they're helping 2 of those people are helping 2 people, so it ends up being 12 people. And I was thinking about like that was Success Club 2, and you only have to help 3 people, like 3 people to get started on their journey. And if you're running out of people to talk to, that means you're not adding enough people to your network. And I think I know like when I first started, we didn't have Challenge Pack. So that's a whole nother story. But I feel like when I'm struggling with Success Club, it's because I'm not adding enough new people to my network, and I'm not starting enough new like relationships. And then I don't have enough people to like invite to, and I kind of just like, I just wait for people to come to me, or like kind of like, I don't know what the word is, depend on like me posting about it and people coming to me that way, which in reality we should still be inviting people constantly. So if you're running out of people to invite, it's probably because you're not adding enough people to your network. And there's a couple new things. I know I posted a video on how to add new people to your network, and Meg Wazinski talked on the Wake Up Call yesterday about how she adds new people to her network, and she does the search thing on Facebook, which is what I've been doing. And that's been working out really well. Like, I would say if I send out like 5 or 6 friend requests a day to people who I have mutual friends with, I would say half of them are adding me back within the same day. So that's something to think about, to add new people to your network. But you want to make sure that you're not like you're deleting them, so you don't get stuck in Facebook jail, like the ones that are pending, I guess is what they do. They pend if they haven't added you back. And I made a video like what I do with those people too. So that's something, I guess, a tangent on Success Club. So the next thing, something I want you guys to do is post your July goals in our group, Facebook, or my personally sponsored one. I know, let's see, we have a lot of you guys pushing for Diamond too, and people who aren't on here. So that will be exciting. July is going to be awesome. Also with Summit, if you're not going to Summit, literally you guys want, and I'll talk about this next week before Summit too, but if you're not going to Summit, you want to be like watching the page or the Summit like website or whatever, or like trying to keep up with everything that's going on, because they'll have Summit tickets for next year super, super cheap. Like, I think I bought my Summit tickets for this year at Summit last year, and they were like $99. If you were to buy them now, they're like $300. So they're like super, super, super mega cheap if you can buy them that like while people are still at Summit. If you can get them then, because they're like $100, that's like $200 cheaper. So that's something to think about. Most of you are going to Summit, but the ones who aren't. And then the topic I really wanted to talk about before we get into like just question and answers that you guys have is fear. I know, well, fear and / feeling like you're stuck. And somebody had posted in our Diamond Misfit Leaders group about they were feeling really, really stuck. And I actually want to read to you guys what Joelle had said, because I couldn't have said it any better than what she said. And Dorothy and Courtney, for you two who are in there, you'll know what I mean if you saw it. But it made me think about, like, we all go through my video's talking to me. We all go through periods in our business and in life, to be honest, that we feel stuck. It's probably going to take me forever to find it now. Okay. And to be honest, it's a part of life, you know, like there's, and I don't know if you guys, if any of you are reading the entrepreneurship roller coaster. I never can say that word. But he talks about, like, basically that book is what being your own business owner is about. Like, it's a roller coaster, you know, like some months are going to be awesome. Some months are going to be just like nothing's happening. But those are the months that are like the most crucial, because if you stay consistent, you're like building up to the next month that is going to have like momentum. So it's like, I know for me at the beginning of this year was like, I literally was like in a stuck phase, and I was like staying consistent, doing the bare minimum basics. But now it's like I'm reaping what I put into it at the beginning of the year. So it's that consistency. And when you feel stuck, it's hard to want to even do anything, you know, like you feel like you're running in circles. But here's okay, so she was saying she was struggling with her business, feeling like she's stuck in a sense. And this is what Joelle had to say. And I'm reading this because Joelle is amazing, and I couldn't say it better myself. So Joelle said, the only person that can get you out of the funk is yourself. No one else. She's saying has she ever felt like she's in one, but have I ever felt I have been in one? Yes. And was working through it worth it? Yes. My question is, what would your life be like in 5 years from now if you quit? Would you be happier? Would your financial situation be better? Would you be in charge of your schedule? What would your life look like for the next 5 years if you were consistent? You reached out to others with a kind heart of service. You gave a little more time to your team. You spent a little more time in PD. What would it look like then? Have you been keeping, Jax, you're so distracting. Have you been keeping your mind on being stuck where you are now and trying to see yourself, it's funny how when you read things, you're like, that doesn't even make sense. Or try to see how you can get yourself unstuck, basically. Well, this is where like her tough love Joelle. And I don't know if any of you guys have met Joelle, but she is totally like, when you meet her at Summit or when you meet her for the first time, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, she could never be like tough love. But so this is like totally tough love Joelle. So then she said, well, let me tell you, if that is your focus, then you're going to stay right where you are. When I was at a plateau or valleys in my business, she was stuck at 7-star for a whole year feeling stuck. It was because she focused on it and kept myself and my team stuck. So basically what you focus on is what's going to keep happening. And it's funny that post happened today because in my reading, like my personal development today, it was talking about how we need to focus on what you want your life to be. So like if you're focusing on, like, why isn't my business moving forward? Why am I still stuck at this rank? Why isn't anybody wanting to join my team? Like just feel like focusing on like, why am I being stuck? Why am I stuck? You're going to keep being stuck. So you need to keep focusing on, or change your focus, I guess, on like what you're going to do to get unstuck, or what you want it to be like after you get unstuck, if that makes sense. It's like the law of attraction, basically. What you focus on is what's going to happen. And in the book, I'm reading another book by Joel Osteen, which I think he's going to be my new favorite like author right now because his books are like amazing. But I think it's your best year, your best life, something like that. But he was talking about how you can't change your life, or you can't change your world, or you can't change your situation until you change your mind. And that's the hardest thing, like it's so hard to change your mindset on something. And that's something that we all have to work on daily, like honestly daily. And it's crazy because like I just made a video, and I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but I posted it on my thing about how like I literally want to quit this reset because it's like I am like, my mindset is totally obviously needing a cleanse, apparently, because I just feel like and you get like that in your business too, where you just feel like, I just want to quit, like this isn't worth it. It's more, I'm putting in more work than I'm getting out of it. And you almost just have to sit down and ask yourself that question that Joelle said, like, where would your life be in 5 years if you quit? Like, where would it be? Where would it be if you didn't quit? Like even bringing in an extra $500 a month to some people is like crazy awesome. Like, what can you do with that extra money? Like I watched Sam Michaels had posted her video on what it's done for her so far. And she's not where she wants to be either, but she's been able to pay off her debt faster with that extra income from Beachbody. So it's those little things that, we might feel like we are failing because we're not where we want to be yet, but we have to remember those little things that are still successes in our business and share those, because those things can attract people to join you. If that makes sense. I feel like I'm rambling, but I hope you guys get the point. Fear. Did that kind of talk about fear too? Kind of talks about fear. I don't even know what to say about fear. Fear is evil. That's all I have to say about fear. And we have to do things when we have fear. It's inevitable. I know I was watching another video today, I think I was watching, and she was talking about how when you're a new coach, you fear like inviting people to join you in a challenge group. And then like when you get used to that, you fear like inviting people to the coaching opportunity. And there's always going to be things you fear. Like I fear that I'm not going to be successful, that I'm not going to be a good enough leader for you guys, that like you guys, like you get to a certain point where there's always something that you're going to fear, and we have to just work through it. Otherwise you get stuck. Can you guys hear Jax chewing on a golf ball behind me? Gosh, it's so annoying. There's always going to be something you fear. Like if we only have fear because we have a thought about something. Take the emotion out of it and just do it. I love that. That's so true. That's so true, because if we have a fear about it, it's probably something that like we need to work through and get better on. Like, okay, I fear that like I'm not going to be successful, or I'm not going to be a good enough leader. Like maybe those are two things I need to work on, is being a better leader and digging into the personal development aspect of it. If you fear talking to people, maybe you need to work on communicating, like reading communication books. You guys get where I'm going. Does that make sense, everybody? We're on the same page. Does anyone have anything they like want to say about fear or being stuck, and like how you've worked through it, or anything that's helped? I know Dorothy just had like literally like in the last 2 months, aha, that she basically just got out of her way. Maybe you can talk about that, Dorth. Can I call you Dorth? Do we call you Dorth?
That kind of sounds like Darth Vader.
Darth? Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know which aha I would be talking about.
Your biggest one that got you unstuck.
I used to not really, well, I went through my notebook. This is really embarrassing. And I started looking at my actual actions, so my little 5-subject notebook, and I would go through every day. And Michelle Torrance said something about this today, where we have activity, but we're being productive with our time. And so I was going through and I was messaging people and I was having conversations, but I was not inviting people. I was talking to them for months and not inviting them. I even had a coach purchase all their stuff on Amazon because I talked to her for months and she never knew I was a Beachbody coach, because I was afraid of how people were going to perceive me as a Beachbody coach. Were they going to think I was salesy, that I was pushing something or whatever? But then when you just own who you are and what you're doing, like so much of that went away, because people are buying this stuff anyway, and they just didn't know that they could do it through me. I thought it was evident from my Facebook, but apparently not. So that was one of my things. A lot of it has been personal development. I owe Brooke Castillo a lot of money.
She's been amazing. I love her.
Yeah.
And it's funny you say that people didn't know you were a coach. I had a girl message me today. She graduated with my sister, and she messaged me and she's like, hey, I want to do the 21-day fix. Do you know a coach? You know of a coach? And I was like, I am like, okay. Yeah. So like people I don't know if I was like technically friends with her on Facebook, Jax, but it still made me like laugh, like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. But it's a good thing. Like it's a balance between, you want people to know that you're a coach, but you don't want them to like be able to go to your Facebook page and be like, oh, unclick, because it's all like puke. It's a balance. It's a hard balance to try and find, but that made me laugh. I was like,
well, like one thing that happened recently was a local coach that's on my team now. She was just a discount coach. She, didn't mention that she wanted to start actually coaching. And all of a sudden one day I see on her Facebook, I'm a Beachbody coach and here's my link. And I was like, no, and The crazy thing is, people that I'd been talking to for months all of a sudden started responding to her post, and I was like, what? I've been talking to you for months. I've invited you to multiple things at this point. Like, what? And so this whole time I'm trying to not be salesy in one post, and she's got, I don't understand it.
Sometimes I think like, and I'm just thinking of this now, but sometimes I think people, like they may know you're doing certain programs or products or whatever, and then they see other people, like somebody else post about this other thing that they, like in your instance, like it was the same thing, but she posted different. Like sometimes I think people are looking for quick fixes. And when people post salesy things like that, they're like, oh, I wonder what this is. Let's try this and see what this is, and I have to tell myself, like, when that happens, like, I don't want to work with you then if you're looking for a quick fix. Like, I want people who actually want to, like, stick with things and not just, like, join as a coach and then quit because it's too hard, or, have a struggle and then a struggle in life and quit because it's too hard. Like, we all go through struggles so often. And, like, if we just quit when it's getting hard, like, what does that do? Probably preaching to myself right now, because it's like, okay, Lauren, you can't quit the reset now, because I'm like preaching to you guys about not quitting when it gets hard. You just want a donut. The struggle is real. That's going to be my new motto, I think, for the next like week and a half. The struggle is real. Okay, so before I open it, and like we can just do like Q&A and like anything for this next month that you guys want to go over, I have an assignment for you guys who haven't watched this yet. I think you can find it on YouTube or on Netflix, somebody said, but it's called The Secret. I don't know if you guys have watched that yet. It's so good, and it's definitely about, you're gonna bring me donuts at Summit. All I saw was donuts and Summit. Okay, sidetracked. But it talks a lot about the law of attraction, and I mean, we kind of all talk about this so often that like it's probably ingrained in your head. And I watched it, and it was kind of like, oh my gosh, this is so true. And it's just the laws of life, like what you think about comes to reality, and if it's positive or negative, it's going to happen whether you want it to or not. But that's what you guys, stop texting in there because it's distracting me. Anyways, The Secret. I think there's two of them. Is there two? The Secret, and isn't there another one? Something, is it The Secret too? There's a book too. Yep. There is a book. I bet the book would be good too, to kind of like highlight and stuff. But that's an assignment to work on for the next week, is watch it. It's kind of lengthy. It's like a movie, but it's really good.
It's a movie, The Secret, and The Secret 2, like the super, super secret.
Oh, The super, super secret. Maybe I need to watch that. So if you've watched this, are you making fun of me? I seriously think there's like a sequel to The Secret, though. It's like I don't know what it is. I'll look for it and I'll post it. I'm probably making it up, but it's okay. So that's kind of like what I wanted to talk about tonight. I think for team calls, I'm going to kind of do something like that, like have, some type of topic that I feel like people are struggling with, or something that I'm seeing a lot. And I feel like it was something that was kind of like on my heart today after Cindy had posted it in our Diamonds group, that like, you guys just all need to remember that we all get stuck. You're going to get that like stuck feeling in your business. And what like separates the super successful top coaches from not are they just don't quit. They just keep moving through those those stuck times, and they share about it. Like there's so many coaches who share when they feel stuck, and whether it's with their nutrition or with their workouts or with their business, like they're just being themselves and sharing when they're feeling stuck. It's life. I mean, no successful person will tell you that they never failed, or they never felt stuck in their business, or they never felt like quitting, or you know, it's part of the journey. I've decided. So we can open for questions. If anyone has questions about anything. No questions? What?
Well, so for me, I feel like my problem is I kind of sometimes it's like, oh, like poor me kind of crap, like I didn't get where I wanted to get, and oh, she got there, and I always hate that part about myself that I let myself do that. And I shared that message with you about for my personal development. Well, we're almost going to end. But I also was reading this Living Courageously part, and and I guess just the other day, it was talking about, what's it called? Insecurities. And so that whole freaking chapter just like outlined me. And, it really like hit me. And it was just saying, insecurity is in reality a fear that we are not acceptable and that we won't be taken care of. So I really like this book so far.
It's a good book.
Yeah, so I like that. And then from my personal development the other day when I was shared it with you, it was saying, how many of us actually say, I'm not jealous of anyone or anyone else or envious of what others have. If God gave it to them, then I want them to enjoy it. It says, I believe God tests us to see if we will live by this verse. Let your conduct be without covetousness. Be content with such things as you have. You guys are all like Christians, right? I know some aren't, so I just want to make sure I'm talking to the right group. It says, there are times when he will put somebody in front of us who has exactly what we want, just to see how we will respond until we can pass his, I'm happy for you because you are blessed test. You're never going to have any more than you have right now. So if you have asked God for something and he hasn't given it to you yet, rest assured that he is not holding out on you. He simply wants to make sure that you rid yourself of jealousy and make him your top priority. So I just like that. Just want to share.
It's so good. And I think about that, like, I mean, that's just perfect. It's awesome. Like so many of us can look up people who, like Joelle, I'm going to use her again. Like she signed up a day before Lindsay Matway did. A day before. So they've both been coaching the same. And I know like Joelle has said many times, like sometimes I get in that stump like, man, look at where Lindsay is. Like how, like we signed up at the same time. Like how come she is where she's at and I'm here, and not saying that Joelle's not in an awesome place, but like even coaches who are making a lot of money still compare themselves to people who maybe started exactly when they do. And you have to think about their circumstances, like when Lindsay Matway joined, she was like $400,000 in debt or something with medical bills. Like she needed it to work like now, so like when Joelle signed, she was still working full time, in school full time. Like she only had an hour to give, where Lindsay she had a couple more hours to give, but she just needed to make it work because of her circumstances now at that time. So like that's something you have to think about too if you ever find yourself comparing yourself to other coaches. And we all have our own journey, like everything happens for a reason. We make that decision, whether you've been coaching for like 2 years and you've now made the decision like, okay, I'm going to work this. Like, I'm going to make this work. Like, was all part of your journey. Like Meg said today on the wake up call, she's been a coach for 5 years. And 3 of those 5 years, she didn't do anything with the business. I think she said 3 or 2 of those 5 years, whatever. Still, like, she was a discount coach for over almost half of the 5 years. And then she just made a decision that she wasn't happy where she was at. And she decided to go for it. And that's the decision, that we all have to make every day, probably. Anything else? that you guys want to talk about? We have
I
6.
know for me for a long time, oh yeah, we're gonna run out of time. I was letting other people dictate like what their opinions were, what they thought about Beachbody, what they thought about the programs, what they thought about Shakeology, and so many people were saying so many negative things to me, which I didn't realize I was letting this many people influence me until like a couple months ago. That I was putting all of their opinions ahead of what my opinion was of the whole thing. And then finally it's like, wait a minute, they're not paying my bills. They're not living my life. Like, this is my thing. So if I'm going to go after it, I'm going to go after it for me. And who cares what they think? Because those aren't the people that I wanted to, work with as clients or coaches anyway. So it didn't really matter, but it took getting past that crap. Like you have to get the crap out of your life, literally, is what it comes down to. And the cliche is it's personal development, because that's what it is. But and finding the personal development that works for you, though, because I was reading lots of personal development, but it was like in one ear and out the other. So you have to find, your niche with that too. Like Lauren's right now is Joel Osteen. Mine is Brooke Castillo. Like you've got to find the person that really resonates with you so it clicks.
Right. And you can have totally different, like, I listen to Brooke Castillo, I think that's how you say her name, like her podcast for like my business personal development training. And then Joel Osteen I listen to more for like my spiritual life personal development. So like there's like, honestly, there's personal development. It's like the cheapest therapy you can get. And cheapest education you can get. I mean, seriously. I wish I would have done that instead of like 4.5 years of college.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good thing that you just brought up. College. So like you have people just graduated from high school. So there's another whole market for you guys. Like people that are going to want part-time jobs while they're in school. Who do write them down. That's what I started doing with like some of my soccer kids that graduated that are into being healthy and fit and stuff. There's another niche for you guys. They could be like Joelle.
Katie Sire joined when she was like 19. I don't know if any of you guys know who that is. She's one of Joelle's coaches too. But anyways. Okay, so assignments for the week. July, I was going to say Joelle goals. July goals. Oh, and I'm adding another one. Plan out your July. I think I'm actually going to I'm staring at my board because I just did that today. I'll make a video tomorrow, like what my July is going to look like. If you guys haven't checked out the size launch folder tab on the Misfit site, please do that and get like familiar with like getting prepared and like putting some stuff out there so people are like ready to rock and roll when it's released. Because I know in the past I haven't done it, like I did anything like when the first 21-day fix came out. I didn't really do anything before, like maybe the week that it came out I was like posting some things, but I never like did things leading up to it. So like I saw all these coaches, like Andrea was like selling challenge packs up the butt, and she was like, it was because she worked at launch. She was like working months ahead of the launch and like was getting people ready. So definitely check into that. Everything's laid out for you guys, like literally laid out for you guys. And if you don't want to do like the launch pages or like a website type stuff, you don't have to do that. I don't normally do that. I just have people give me their email or whatever. So that, and then watch The Secret. So July goals, plan out July, and watch The Secret this week. If you've watched The Secret, I'm going to find The Secret too, and I'm going to post it because I need to watch that.
I watched it on Netflix.
The Secret too?
No, the Netflix. No, just the first one.
Oh, yeah. I'm serious. I swear this one. I don't think it's called The Secret 2. It's probably called like something else. But
it's The Power. That's what Annie said.
Power.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. And there's like 3 books, Christy said. So I wonder if there's like 3 stories or videos. Anyways. And let me know, guys. Oh, sorry.
No, I said it's like the Da Vinci Code. It's like, good God, just solve the message.
Right. And let me know if you guys want to keep, like, if you like the team calls. I think I need to stay consistent with them, and then more people will start to hop on. And let me know if you want me to open them up for like our whole team. If you guys want your team to get on with us, that's totally something I'm up to doing too. So let me know. I'm just waiting for us to get cut off. Ooh, can we take a picture quick? Okay.
Quick.
Oh, super quick. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna end it because I don't want to get cut off in the middle of my talking.
Bye.
Are all these? Will the chat stay up if I end the Zoom?
I don't know.
Yeah.
They will. I'm gonna go back and look.
Probably.